And it actually starts with the book, we just hold like this and we fold the book open. There's this little paper. You fold the book open and we rip the pages apart, or we make folds like that. And then we go to the next page. And the artist on the other side is doing the same. And in the middle, we meet each other. And then the book is completely made like that. In my artistic projects, I work a lot with bookmaking, performances with paper, book sculptures, book objects. My background lies in graphic design, a mix of working on the computer, but also some analog techniques, like printing techniques was a lot in my education. And I studied in Antwerp at the St. Lucas School of Arts. And the printing matter was really something that always struck me. So I kept working in that field, and also a lot in my personal work, my artistic practice, printing techniques such as screen print, etching, lithography. So also I'm more interested in the traditional techniques, but also the newer techniques like riso printing. Some digital printing also is an element in the work, but very experimental. I work more with the concept of books, like how the book can unfold itself in a sort of more like a sculpture or a performance or an idea, rather than just printing it, but also really to have this conceptual feel about it, really interesting. And this way also books for me are not just for reading or for only for text, but also really to give this conceptual idea of a walk through a book, or like this book is called Werkboek. I made it together with Jivan van der Ende. She's a Dutch artist, and we made this book. It's really almost falling apart because it was part of a performance. And you see that how we look at this book, or how we have this book in our hands and doing stuff with it, is really like sort of destroying it, but also gentle rubbing it. It becomes our book, really not just an object. It really becomes something of you, such, or we refer it also to like having a walk through a landscape, and the book is our landscape, and we go through the pages, we scroll to give this idea how a book can really enlighten your life also, and your ideas, your mind to the world. During the performance, we make a registration with a video camera, and it's shown on the wall so people can see us doing it, but also see another perspective on this project, which I find very interesting, because also with books you can create so much beauty, and sometimes we really do a longer pause. We think is such a beautiful sort of composition with the books and our hands. So it's also about this taking pause in the life and taking time for yourself, some air when you read a book, for example. This one is a done project. So these little pieces that fell out, they are just, I collected the pieces that we ripped off to not lose the complete book. So I just put them back. I started working at Jan van Eyck last year. I worked there a year now, so it's really great. It's like a complete year for me. And my colleague Marguerite, she's more in the field of screen printing and etching, so more the traditional printing techniques. But the whole printing and publishing lab is focusing on stencil printing, so which means that you have a stencil where you print through, such as with screen print or with risography. So that are the two big focuses there. Indeed, we really encourage our artists, our participants, to work very experimental. So we don't say no, and we try to find a solution together with them. What are the possibilities within their conceptual work or their ideas to make the most of things possible that can happen. For example, my colleague Marguerite, she works very large scale. So a lot on textile, but also on paper. And it's amazing what she can do with screen printing. It's really something I never seen before. So it's really great. And then the part where I focus the most on is the riso printing, but also the publishing of the books, the making of the books, from really the conceptual part, finding the right paper form, binding form, what cover, what is the most with the idea and the concept to the end, and we do it together with the participants or the artists. So we don't print for them, but always we learn them like the techniques, and they work together with us. It's not only doing the job, but really also learning and teaching and explaining. It's an interactive way of printing together. A year ago, but then a half year of transition, because I tried to combine it at first. So I started in August at Jan van Eyck Academy, but with the combination of the work at Jan van Eyck, I felt it just became a bit too much, let's say, and I really wanted to focus on my work at Jan van Eyck. It was a chance that I couldn't resist. So I really had to jump for it with a lot of pain in my heart. Of course, I had to say goodbye to the studio, and my colleague Freya, she's doing a great job continuing it. We were provided with some super interesting photographic material. How we worked as a studio was also a lot with bolder or bigger forms. So you have studios who work more with, let's say, drawings or illustration or photography. And our focus in our studio was, or our strength, let's say, was to make compositions with bigger or recognizable forms, but in a more abstract way. And that's also how we approached this. So we saw these beautiful images of the underwater world. We made a system with colors and a system with a grid and images. Every time in the grid, we started with a certain grid, certain 2 images. And on the next page, one image went away, it's gone, and an image came into the picture, into another grid. And the same happens with the colors. So for example, we started with green and yellow. Green got off, yellow stayed. And there we put another color, which is, we followed a bit the rainbow. It's like working in a system, but with enough openness so that something can happen that is not really coordinated at first. So that's a way that we love to work with things. Like we make a system or we have some structure, but within the structure, a lot of new things can happen, and that makes it for us very interesting. The knowledge that I built from the past, I bring it with me to work together with the artists. I did myself also Jan van Eyck Academy in 2017-18 in that year, and I just understand how the whole institution works, and I think my practice and also my character is a really good fit there to try with the right and the best energy to make all the project happens that they have in their head. And I also still learn from it. It gives me a lot of energy for my own practice. All the little things fell into place. Now, for example, I have this exhibition at Huis van het Boek in The Hague in September. It's just because I also am working in a good place where things happen. They see my work, they see what I do together with the participants. So it's really good for me and my practice to work there. I had a lot of crazy days actually already. In 1 year can become crazy. Maybe I can generally say that when I started, it was last August. It was the last month of the participants of last year. And when I started, I just had to go, like had to work a lot, immediately some extra days also to make the projects happen for the people who are leaving. So that was just super nice. Like in 1 month, I really felt in my place already. And also the participants telling me like, you're like a fish in the water here. Starting a new job and somebody says that to you, it was really, really great. And then another perfect memory that I have was more in spring. We are allowed to also work in the lab before our hours or after our working hours. And I had to do something for my artistic project. So it was 7 in the morning and the sun was coming in very nicely. And it was spring, but still very cold outside, but such a beautiful weather. And I didn't turn the lights on because the light of the sun through the trees on the printing table, it was just amazing. And also in that moment, I felt a bit emotional, like working there and being able to do this kind of work. And so nice. And at 9 o'clock, the participants strolls in. We have a good coffee. We chat with the colleagues also. So we mostly don't take a break until only lunchtime. Lunch is perfect at Jan van Eyck, always with fresh food. then at around 2 is back on track. You have a lot of work and of course a lot of your on your mind, but things work there, so it's a really nice atmosphere. This year so many people come visit it. It's really a super nice opportunity to socialize, but also to focus a lot on your practice. Maastricht is a little bit in the south of the Netherlands, so it's close connected to Belgium border and also to the German border. And I think that's just super interesting because you have like a lot of good people and institutions from the Netherlands that are connected with Jan van Eyck, but then also it's also good that Jan van Eyck is internationally open and you get connected so fast to many people in the world, but also in the Netherlands. And I think super nice to have this